When Dan the Hangman Hooker and Dustin the Diamond Poirier clashed in the UFC on ESPN's main event on June 27, 2020, fans knew they were in for a war. Both fighters, renowned for their ferocity and technical skills, delivered a performance that is still discussed as one of the greatest in UFC history. So what makes this fight so different? Let's dive into the action-packed narrative that turned a fight night into a legendary saga. But before this epic showdown, both Hooker and Poirier were making waves in the UFC. Dustin Poirier, just after a fight to unify the titles with Khabib Nurmagomedov, was looking to solidify his position as a top contender. Meanwhile, Dan Hooker, known for his striking prowess and tenacity, was eager to make a statement. With Poirier's record standing at 30 wins, 9 losses, and 1 no contest, and Hooker's at 23 wins and 12 losses, this bout was set to be a test of endurance, skill, and heart. Round 1. As the bell rang for round 1, fans at the UFC Apex knew they were in for a treat. Dan the Hangman Hooker came out with explosive energy, immediately asserting dominance. His strikes were sharp, and his precision was evident. Hooker's combinations were landing flush, and it seemed like he was on the verge of making a statement right from the start. Dustin the Diamond Poirier, however, wasn't backing down. Despite absorbing some powerful shots, Poirier showcased his durability and counterattacking skills. He tried to find his rhythm amidst Hooker's relentless offense. Hooker's sharp elbows and leg kicks were particularly effective, making Poirier feel every bit of their impact. The first round ended with Hooker clearly in the lead. His aggressive approach and effective striking earned him a 10-9 score on the judges' cards. Hooker's ability to land significant strikes while avoiding Poirier's counters set the tone for what would be a high-stakes, action-packed fight. The crowd buzzed with excitement, knowing that the subsequent rounds promised even more intensity. Round 2. Round 2 began with a change in strategy from Dustin Poirier. Realizing he needed to adapt, Poirier came out with a more calculated approach. His striking accuracy improved, and he began to land clean counters, using Hooker's aggressive stance against him. Poirier's body shots and hooks started to take their toll, disrupting Hooker's rhythm. Dan Hooker, still aggressive, continued to press the action, but Poirier's adjustments were paying off. Poirier's ability to absorb damage and keep coming forward made it clear he was not going to be easily outpaced. The round was a back-and-forth battle, but Poirier's tactical striking and effective counters gave him the edge. The judges awarded round 2 to Poirier with a 10-9 score. His resilience and strategic changes showed his ability to adapt mid-fight, and the round demonstrated that he was not going to let Hooker's early dominance define the fight. The momentum had shifted, setting up a dramatic third round. Round 3. Round 3 was where the fight really started to heat up. Poirier, having adjusted his strategy, came out with renewed vigor. His strikes were landing with increased frequency and precision. He absorbed Hooker's best shots and continued to push forward, demonstrating impressive durability and heart. Dan Hooker, though visibly fatigued, didn't back down. He continued to exchange blows with Poirier, landing some solid punches and kicks. However, Poirier's relentless pressure and effective striking began to dominate the round. Poirier's powerful combinations and ability to maintain a high output of strikes left Hooker struggling to keep pace. The judges scored round 3, 10-9, in favor of Poirier. The round highlighted Poirier's resilience and adaptability, showing that he could weather the storm and continue to press his advantage. Hooker's earlier dominance seemed a distant memory, as Poirier's experience and conditioning started to shine through. Round 4. As round 4 kicked off, the fight turned into a test of endurance and willpower. Dustin Poirier, now fully in control, showcased his superior conditioning. His striking was sharp and unrelenting, with Hooker struggling to match his pace. Poirier's ability to land powerful combinations while absorbing Hooker's counters was a testament to his stamina and toughness. Dan Hooker, despite his exhaustion, fought valiantly. He tried to counter Poirier's attacks and find openings for his own strikes, but Poirier's relentless pressure and tactical approach made it increasingly difficult. The round saw Poirier land numerous effective strikes, further solidifying his dominance. The judges scored round 4, 10-9 for Poirier. The round emphasized Poirier's superior conditioning and strategic execution, making it clear that Hooker's early success was being overshadowed by Poirier's consistent and effective performance. Round 5. The final round, round 5, was a dramatic conclusion to a thrilling fight. Both fighters, exhausted but determined, gave it their all. Poirier, showing incredible stamina, continued his aggressive assault, landing several powerful strikes that visibly affected Hooker. Despite his fatigue, Hooker tried to mount a comeback, but Poirier's relentless pressure was overwhelming. Dan Hooker, despite a valiant effort, struggled to turn the tide. Poirier's effective striking and ability to maintain his pace throughout the round were impressive. Hooker's attempts to land a decisive blow were thwarted by Poirier's defense and counterattacks. The judges scored round 5, 10-9 for Poirier. The final round underscored Poirier's dominance and endurance throughout the fight. Poirier's ability to keep pushing and landing effective strikes sealed his victory in this memorable clash. The aftermath. The post-fight analysis revealed that Poirier had landed 208 total strikes, compared to Hooker's 182, highlighting the close nature of the contest. In the aftermath, Hooker reflected on the fight as a valuable learning experience. Despite the defeat, he acknowledged that the battle with Poirier had taught him a great deal. "I hit him with the kitchen sink," Hooker remarked, "and then he just cruises through." The experience of facing Poirier helped Hooker to improve his approach and strategy in subsequent fights. The road ahead. Following the bout with Poirier, Hooker faced a challenging period, losing 3 of his next 4 fights. However, he bounced back with impressive victories over Claudio Puelles and Jalen Turner, demonstrating his ability to adapt and learn from his experiences. What did you think? If the Poirier vs. Hooker fight was one of your favorite UFC fights, let's know. Do you think Hooker could still win Poirier in any of their next matchup? Share your thoughts and experiences. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more engaging content from us.